and welcome back to As I Play Dying Let's Play Descent. A couple things have changed since my very first, actually, Let's Play. I ran out to Best Buy today, and I got a new USB mic, a Blue Snowball, which sounds incredibly dirty. But, hopefully to you guys, it actually sounds better than the tinny, faceless, frankly characterless sound quality of my last video. And we're still playing some Descent here. We're in level 2. This is a continuation, obviously, of the exact same game save. So, right now, one of the things that really is a headache in the first game that they did a brilliant remedy for the second one is, while you can pull up a map, you cannot pull a map up in real time, much like you could do in Doom and other first-person shooters, and sort of have like a wireframe over it. And that simply wouldn't work in a game like this because, you know, it's all 3 dimensions. So, you know, you would have to pause the game, get your bearings, which was incredibly hard because a lot of the wireframes overlapped. And it was really easy to get lost. But I like that a little bit because it makes you memorize the levels. Like here, I stumbled across the blue key, and for the life of me, I can't remember where the door is. But I eventually find it. It doesn't take me too long. But in the second game, Descent 2 and Descent Maximum, at the beginning of each level, there was a hidden helper called the Guidebot, and he would look like a ball with 3 pyramids having the tip of them like stuck in him. And he was great because he would actually guide you around, and there would be like little tickers up there that tells you if he's coming back for you and what he's finding. The problem is he never found the hostages like I'm finding right now. And so you miss out on a lot of points if you use that because you're sort of set to follow him. But if he goes into a door that he can't open, he'll start freaking out. It's kind of cool because there was like no animation smoothing, so he would literally just jerk around for a little bit. It's always quite hilarious. As you can see here, I am spinning and I lose my bearings for a little bit. Let me get everything back up. So, alright, back up that hallway was back to the entrance. And down this hallway is some more baddies. One thing that, you know, I have been looking up because I've been having a blast with this game was some other 6 Degrees of Freedom shooters. I already have all the Descent games. I'm trying to find some others, and I found out there were more than I thought, but not as enough as I would like in this genre. If you have an N64, there was a really great multiplayer game, pretty much only multiplayer, called Forsaken 64. And you had hover bikes, and one of them was like an alien in a cryotube that was attached to like a I guess a futuristic jet engine. It was really wacky. And one set of games that I really wish would come back, and they have the highest likelihood of coming back, is Zone of the Enders. Now you're thinking, well, that's not a shooter. Well, it doesn't necessarily need to be a shooter to be a 6 Degrees of Freedom game. There just has to be no set direction. And if you play Zone of the Enders, you will be attacking people from the top, bottom, left, right. And while some areas have a ground, you are never affixed to the ground. You are flying around. And, you know, if anyone mentions Zone of the Enders, you got to mention one thing. Cockpits. If you haven't played Zone of the Enders, look it up. It's a great game by Hideo Kojima, the guy who did Metal Gear. But it's a mech game, and it's a mech melee brawler with some light shooting. But one of the things that always threw me off was the fact that the mech design, where the pilot goes, all the mechs had giant robot cocks. Japan? Yeah, Japan. That's the answer, okay? I don't have anything better to give you on that one. Japan. You can pick up the HD collection, which is actually pretty nice. I would recommend it on PS3 over 360 because there are numerous reports of slowdown with the 360 version. I don't know why. If anyone can answer that, please leave it in the comments. Other games mostly come from PC side of things. One is a relatively new indie game called Retrovirus. And essentially you start off... Do you guys remember the old Windows XP Rolling Hills home screen that every computer had? You start off there, and you go into the computer, and you see this what's supposed to be a computer virus that this comes through that. It's really cool. I'm waiting till my next paycheck to pick it up, just because I had to buy the mic, and I had to buy a couple other things like the recording equipment for the PS3 and stuff like that. Another game is called Minor Wars, and this is also a little independent title, but it hasn't been getting that great of reception. But one of the things that really set Descent apart back in the late 90s and early 2000s was that it had stellar multiplayer. And in fact, speaking of that, little known fact, Descent 1 had iLink capabilities on the original PlayStation. People might be asking what iLink is. On the earliest models of the PlayStation console, there was a way to basically have a LAN party. And this game offered it. It offered two people to LAN together on two different consoles, two different TVs, and they would also be able to have bots in the match along with the two people. So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if it would work on the PS3 with its networking capabilities, but I'm definitely gonna be trying that out. I would love to see what this game would be like with just two people and a bunch of the bots that you see me blowing up. I think that would be fun. But the most recent one is a game from Rage Quit Studios called Strike Vector. And this was a Steam Greenlight game, and oh my god, does it look amazing. If you ever played Warhawk on PlayStation 3, you play in some parts you can jump into a jet, and this jet could transform into a helicopter at a moment's notice and back again, and it was insane in the aerial combat. Strike Vector does the same thing, except they just remove the floor. It's insanely quick, and it's like, the best thing is it's hard to get kills in it. Like, well, I like getting kills. I like getting kills that you feel like you had to struggle for. In Strike Vector, that really is the case. You will probably only end up with like 10 kills at most if you have a good match. So, really hard game. It's $20 on Steam. Go check out trailers. It looks amazing. I am really hoping that it comes to the consoles, just because I don't see why it couldn't. And with the 6-axis controller, I think that it would be really good, just because you can rotate your craft to get your bearings a lot easier. So, as you can see here, I'm finishing up the level. I'm blowing up the reactor. Now this one, like I said before, you have to find the exit, and it's in a different room. But the reason why this game reminds me of Timefall a little bit is because it doesn't end at the boss or when the match is over. You gotta work your way and earn that extra bit of points. So as you can see here, I'm finishing up. I'm going through the tunnel with the explosion behind me, and I'm escaping with my Pyro GT Starship. That's what the little thing is called. Anyways, my name is Ryan. Thank you for watching as I play Dying. Let's Play Descent Part 2. Check back later for Part 3, which will be Level 3, and follow us on Tumblr, Facebook, and Twitch. Have a nice day.